Okay, what we have here today is a 1953 RCA Victor 3BX51 portable radio, also known as the Yachtsman. It's a portable class radio because it would work on battery power, and this is also a dual power radio, which includes an AC power cord. Let's do a little tour. This is our on-off volume control, and as you can see, that's coming right up. Here's our tuner, and there's a little index on the top here.
No trees down. Looks like people have.
The revolution is personal. Wind Hood Canal floating bridge is closed as well due to high.
As things are, sometimes
with a lightning shutout to Columbus Blue Jackets.
We do St. Paddy's Day every year somewhere different, and we picked Vancouver this year.
We wanted to see it. We heard it was the best one in Canada.
Celebrating some of our Irish heritage and getting together and having a really good time.
Okay, the plaque you see on top is not standard. This was a gift in 1954. This radio came out of a closet where it's been for about 40 years, just about a week ago, and it did not work when it came out. The original battery was in it and was dead, and the AC power supply when we plugged it in, or power cord when we plugged it in, didn't work. Quickly unplugged it and went through a process of restoration by plugging it into an AC variable power supply known as a variac and slowly bringing the voltage up over about a week. That reforms the capacitors, which are typically what dry out and go bad in these old radios, and prevent them from working. And if you can bring those back, and this kind of rehydrates them slowly through, they just reabsorb atmosphere moisture that they need, as I understand it. And if they come back and work again, you're in good shape, and the radio should be fine. And in this case, it did work. Went on to rebuild the battery as well, and that's a pretty simple project for someone who's handy with a few tools and a soldering iron. But let's continue our tour. Turning this around again, here's our volume and on-off control. Pretty plain back. Here you can see a hole. That's for running an external antenna into a screw terminal inside for the antennas. And here again is our index for tuning. And there's numbers on the dial. It's the AM band. Let's pop this open and check it inside. There's a slot for a coin so that you can turn it open. I often just try to work on these edges. Okay. These screws fit into little slots here, and that's what holds this closed. There's one on each side. Here's the terminals for running in an antenna wire. Here's your old battery, and I've rebuilt what's inside that paper carton that came. Those are not available now, so you pretty much need to rebuild them if you're going to do that. We'll talk about that more in a minute. You can see the AM antenna on the back here, and the original labels that come with the radio. This is an interesting feature of these radios. This is a switch that the plug, the AC power cord, is plugged into when you want to use the battery. If this is unplugged, and excuse me while I pull this out, if this is unplugged, the battery is disconnected, and you can take this and plug it into the main supply, your wall outlet, and run the radio. When it is plugged in, it actually turns a switch in there that connects this battery. Here's the battery, and as you can see here, there's an A and B battery, and this particular version is one that is supplies 7.5 volts and 6 volts on the A side and 75 volts on the B side. And one side of that is for running the radio, and the other side is for warming up the tubes and getting those operational. These batteries last a long time. To rebuild this battery, I took it apart with these cardboard tabs will open up, and you can slide out the inside box. Took out the old radio battery components, soldered together some 9-volt batteries and some C batteries to make up the different sides, and put it back in, and it works great. And that's what we were listening to in our test a few minutes ago. We'll tuck this back up. And excuse me again while I plug this in. There we go. Close up our radio. And there you have it. A 1953 RCA Victor 3BX51 Yachtsman portable radio. Works great, has a nice sound, and all the interesting atmospherics that come with tuning the radios. Really enjoy this, and hope to continue using it for a long time.